6 months ago, I totally hated cardio. I was all about lifting weights, getting big and strong, and the longest run I had ever done was about 10 kilometers, which was about 6 miles. And that was really painful. Fast forward to this week, I just completed my second ever HYROX in 1 hour and 13 minutes, which is considered a pretty decent time. So yeah, in just 6 months, I completely changed my style of training and successfully transitioned from a typical gym bro that only cared about lifting weights to a hybrid athlete. In this video, I'm gonna share 5 key tips that helped me make this transition so you can continue to get strong and bigger while improving your endurance and conditioning and potentially do a HYROX in the upcoming months. So basically, I'll show you that you don't need to sacrifice one for the other. The key tip number 1 is you should keep strength training as the foundation of your fitness. Just because you want to start doing more cardio or conditioning style of training doesn't mean you have to stop lifting heavy and doing bodybuilding style of workout. So that's a very big tip I have for you, because if you guys are like me, you still love the gym, you don't want to stop it, you want to maintain or continue to build muscle. So it's really important that you find a balance here. So I'm not going to give you a specific workout program because this really depends on your availability and willingness to work out, but you should at least aim to do 2 weightlifting sessions per week if you want to maintain and continue to improve your muscle mass, okay? And of course, you should prioritize compound movements within these sessions. Get stronger on those compound movements. So yeah, personally, I was still training 3 times a week when it comes to the gym. I was doing 2 upper body sessions and 1 lower body session, but my schedule allowed to do that on top of all the running and HYROX sessions. So it really depends on your own schedule, but I really encourage you to continue to train hard and continue to get stronger in the gym, especially in big movements like the squat, bench press, shoulder press, deadlifts, and so on. Second principle, start small with cardio. You should start easy. Let's say you start with 1 run a week. Maybe you aim for a 5-kilometer run, and then you start building on that over time. For the first week, you might increase 1 kilometer per week, so 5 kilometers, then 6, 7, 8, and then after a month or so, you should aim to do 2 sessions, and if you can, eventually jump into a 3rd weekly session. And week by week, you should aim to increase your weekly kilometers or mileage for about 10%. So that's how I did. I built my total kilometers from, I started with 5 kilometers, and at my peak, I was running about 45 kilometers, which is not crazy, but it's, considering my background, I'm very, very proud of that achievement. I was doing 3 runs a week, which included a long run, an easy recovery run, and more of a tempo run. So yeah, build your cardio over time. Don't start a crazy cardio running schedule, because you'll not only risk getting injured quickly, but you'll not be progressing and you'll be just super tired overall. That has to be progressive as you do with training. So when you start working out, you don't go immediately to 225 pounds in the bench press, right? So start small and increase it over the weeks. Number 3, I want you to train more like an athlete and not as much as a bodybuilder. When it comes to your strength training, of course, you should still do some bodybuilding movements, but since you are probably reducing the number of strength training sessions you are doing per week, you have to pick your exercises better, you have to optimize your time better. And for that, especially if you're preparing for an event like HYROX, you should be picking certain movements over others. These are things like sled pushes, kettlebell swings, lunges, or any sort of explosive movement that you can easily incorporate into a strength training session. And this way you are both working your muscles, your strength, and you are working towards your HYROX event. For example, a leg workout that I did a lot over these last months was basically 5 exercises. So I did barbell squats, then I did lunges, which is one of the stations of HYROX. Then I did leg curls, leg extensions, and I finished off with sled push. So this is a workout that really works towards my strength training goals, and it also helps me prepare for a HYROX race. 5th principle, track progress across all your workouts and not just lifting. So if you're like me, you track your strength training sessions very carefully. So you go into the gym, you know exactly how many reps are you going for, what weight are you going to use for every set. But if you're also like me, when I started running or doing this HYROX style of workouts where I combine different exercises, I was not really tracking my progress at all. And especially in the running, I was putting a very high effort in all my runs, always trying to go faster and faster, but I was not really tracking how I was doing this. Was just by feeling, and that's a total waste of time. Track your running progress, track your HYROX progress, just like you do with strength training. I don't want to get into details on how you should track these things, but it's important you do so, okay? Before you decide to jump into this journey, have some structure so you make most of your time. Finally, and super obvious, you should really optimize recovery and fuel properly. This is important for any person, even if you don't work out at all, but especially if you are doing this transition, this is super important. Running and doing cardio burns way more calories than strength training. So if you keep everything the same in terms of nutrition, you will lose weight and potentially muscle. So it is very important that you pay attention to this so you can perform at your best. I personally was weighing in myself almost every day. I was not really counting calories, but by weighing in myself every day, I could easily understand if I was eating too little or too much. And yeah, I basically managed to maintain my body weight throughout these 6 months whilst getting leaner. So I basically built a bit of muscle while improving my cardio significantly. That's simply because I was tracking my weight. A good point is that you also have way more freedom to eat more calories. I love this new style of nutrition because before, when I was just doing bodybuilding, I was very careful with my nutrition. I was counting calories, macros, and I used to gain weight quite easily because my metabolism is not the best. But now with this new style of training, I have way more freedom, and I can get leaner and stronger while eating more food. So it's really amazing. And then when it comes to recovery, you have to schedule, you have to program your routine, your weekly workout routine in a very optimal way. For example, having the leg day close to running days is always a bit challenging. So all these details are super important to make sure that you start any workout feeling fresh and ready to kill it. I hope these 5 tips were helpful. I know I didn't get into much details, but I wanted to keep it high level. If you found this video valuable and if you want to learn more about how to transition from a bodybuilder or a typical gym bro into HYROX or into a hybrid athlete, follow my channel. I'm gonna post a lot of videos about this, about my own journey and sharing more tips. And yeah, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. And I'll see you in the next video.